Just fun fact, right? I'm a bit crazy in a way where at that point of time when Hong Kong had the riots, right, a few years ago, I was there with my colleagues. Then our flight got cancelled because of the riots. So I put one of my colleagues over, hey, let's go join the black shirts.
What the hell?
I just joined but I didn't wear a black shirt right?
Okay.
Or the time I was staying in Los Angeles, right? I was just walking back after a very weird vegan dinner with my friend. Then after that I went to Taco Bell But on the way back, we saw a few people shooting each other. But it's like normal it's just true, you just walk as long as the bullet don't hit us, okay already. No, but that's life. It's calculated, YOLO.
What?
Yeah, okay. So I guess your job is very towards the back end and people like us know about you, right? But if you were to give the general audience, right, a summary of what's your job, right? Can you give us a 3-sentence what your job is about? Because it's quite complicated.
So it's very tough to summarize it to probably 3 sentences because probably because of the way that I have grown, right? Ever since I used to work at this small events company called Pico.
Pico is quite big.
Yeah, it is. So I've actually worked there for quite a long time, and I had the honor of working with I think you've interviewed him as well, Jeremy Bala, right? For the first Ultra Singapore in 2016. Well, technically it's the second, but it's the first full-scale Ultra, right?
Yep.
But yeah, so my journey kind of started off there. But the operations is a whole department of its own that I've grown because of my training at Pico, right? I have since evolved into not only technical production, set design, as well as management, but also with regards to the front end as well, right? Working out sponsorships, creating revenue charts, so even marketing strategies on how we can deploy the product to various places.
Wow, so you are not only show producer, but you also now marketing.
So long story short, what a lot of Singaporeans say is bao ka liao lor. Yeah. It's tricky because the thing that I fundamentally believe, right, is that you will only be in a position to kind of advise or manage, right, only if you know the technical skill sets yourself. I forced myself how to do DJing. I forced myself to learn how to do music production, video production, animation, because the job nature kind of requires it. And if I don't actually know what the vendor is telling me, right, then I don't like to kinda smoke I put it this way. It's not a pleasant situation.
It's people wrote to Ultra, you are wrote to general manager.
No. But so in a way, it's a jack of all trades but master of none. But I mean, I try to gain a reasonable amount of aptitude, right, towards the various components that I do Yeah. So the thing is, a show or an event basically, it can't be just driven by one person, right?
Correct.
But it's about having that collaborative instance with support, not only with knowledge, but also with interpersonal skills to kind of make everything work. Then that's how you can create an awesome show.
Yeah, I vaguely remember the first time I actually met you, right, was actually in Capital. And then you were hanging out with Jeremy Boon. It's it's such a funny dynamic. And then it's Jeremy is usually very strict, but then when he saw you, it's he just light up, So he's wow, what's Jeremy? Who's this guy? Yeah, and then fast forward a few years later, then we eventually work with you. Yeah, so I think it's quite cool. Yeah. But how does one even get hired by Ultra?
So, okay,
your history with Pico is super long.
It is super long, right? But I've worked on the Singapore shows primarily together with Alex Chu, right? That was during my stint with Pico. I mean, I was also helping him to do the miracle of shifting the show from outdoors to indoors in 2019, and we only had 36 hours to do it, right?
Is that the Skrillex Porter Robinson year?
Yes, right. Yes. The year that Martin Garrix broke his leg.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I still remember that was the first year where Skrillex started to dive into house music or something.
Not fully
first
yet.
Half of the set.
Not fully yet. He's kind of redefining his way, because I think with genres you have to constantly evolve, right? Otherwise you're kind of stuck. And that's probably the reason why a lot of Europeans, right, they actually kind of like techno music. Because if you think about it, right, a lot of the electronic genres or even the mainstream genres, they are remeshes of popular songs from last time, right? Just probably change a little bit, like David Guetta's "I'm Good," right? Like, yeah, it's Blue by Eiffel 65, so it's just a very interesting dynamic there.
But okay, you see, like techno is like what I say is techno never dies. You know, it's like evergreen. Right?
Okay, so this is I had this very interesting conversation with a friend of mine, right? Like when Singaporeans say techno, what is the song that first comes to your mind? Floor Filler, Anthem 4, right? Move for Freedom.
FTS.
Yeah, Amor Infinitus, like the Sparks era, right? But
Sparks, throwback, man.
Yeah, but techno is a little bit more than that, especially with the emergence of acts like Tale of Us with their bloody awesome visuals, right? But if you think about it, because they had access to certain interesting substances there as well.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, but if you look at it in its entirety, techno music is a very powerful subculture. Obviously, it's best experienced in Berlin, right? Be it Boot House or wherever. But the fundamental thing is techno has evolved, especially with melodic house and stuff like that, right? And even your mainstream acts like deadmau5 with Test Pilot doing techno, right?
Yeah, and high-low, right?
Oliver Heldens and Hilo, yeah, they're back to back in Miami was awesome.
Yeah.
The
thumbnail was damn funny. The thumbnail of the video was like deadmau5 is like shouting at Oliver Heldens or something.
Yeah, there were a few screw ups because when you do back to back sets, right, the idea is to not be prepared. You feel the crowd, and because for electronic music, everybody kind of has a pre-recorded set list. I'm not saying all DJs do that, right? But especially for big shows, they would tend to do that because they don't want to screw up, right?
Is it a huge percentage?
Yes.
50-50.
I've
80,
seen
20.
quite a lot. Because the long story short is once you know they are running time code, right? You know they are doing a pre-recorded set.
Unless you're Armin van Buuren, your time code and freestyle at the same time. 4 CDJ, right?
Yeah, but it's not. I don't feel it's a wrong thing, you know, because you're trying to deliver your best experience, right? And for energetic performers like Timmy Trumpet, right, who like
or Steve
Aoki, they kind of need that to help them hype up the crowd. Yeah. So funny thing, I was at Marquee the other day, right, with Hatim. He's Nicky Romero's manager, right? I was just behind together with him. He brought us. He was very nice. He brought us to the green room. I mean, I've known him since 2018, right? So he brought us to the green room. Like chill with Nicky and stuff like that. But I was more interested in talking to him, Hatim, rather than Nicky. With all due respect, because like I know Hatim better, so I want to give him the best hospitality when he's here as well.
And oftentimes, right, besides the art, right, the rest of the strategy is actually done by the manager if you think about it.
Well, actually it depends because in today's age, right, it has become more fluid. So for instance, like Chainsmokers, right? Most of the set designs, production work is done by another friend of mine, Clancy, right? He's the tour manager for Chainsmokers. But the two guys, they are quite involved in their brand, right? Like they created their own shows and things like that. And especially when you see some emerging DJs from Instagram Reels, right? They actually they do a lot of things themselves as well. Yeah.
So it's really just marketing and music.
Yeah.
I guess the other day I was just speaking to Jace Pua, which is like if you think about it, it's like the Mr. Beast of Singapore. He's pumping out every video is like 10 million views, 1 million, 10 million. And he's saying that right now is the era of the good enough content. Yeah. If you put in a lot of time to perfect something, right? But then the masses don't like it, right? Then you're just wasting your time.
Which brings me to this person called Eric Pritz.
Oh, Hollow.
So I don't think a lot of people are aware, right? But the insane visuals, before Tale of Us, there's this guy called Eric Pritz.
Yeah.
It was really a shame that he couldn't bring he had this concept, right, which is the hollow sphere.
Yep.
not the holo show, which is a flat LED mesh panel.
Yeah.
It's a literal sphere that you do all the visuals around it, right? I mean, I can show you the video later. When I first saw it, it blew my mind.
Is it like the Sphere Las Vegas, same concept?
Yeah, same concept, but obviously smaller lah.
Oh, yeah,
he's performing inside lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just really bonkers. And I saw it at Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
It was... I wasn't interested in the main stage. I like to be at the Freedom stage for some reason.
Freedom stage, is it like equivalent to like worldwide stage of Ultra?
No, the Freedom stage is an indoor mega structure, but it's not like anything like Ultra. It's two completely different concepts. Because in the Freedom stage, when I went, they had a state of trance concepts there, the afterlife shows and things like that, right?
Basically label nights lah, something like that, right?
I would say it's concept nights, because for example, like it's very different from label nights, right? It's because if I'm okay, so when you book Armin, for example, right, you need to ask for what type of set that you want him to perform.
What type of set? Oh, okay,
he has an EDM set.
Okay.
He has a state of trance set. He has a Armada style, Armada Records, which is his label lah.
Yeah, I'm also very curious. Like before we even go to that, like Armada and a state of trance is like they are both having their own radio show.
Yeah.
But what's the difference?
It is different genres
of trance.
Yes.
Different sub-genres of trance.
Yes. So like, okay, let me ask you this question. I think obviously you will know lah.
Yes.
What is the real difference between Gareth Emery's music style? I don't even talk about sets. Gareth Emery and Andrew Rayel.
Gareth Emery, based on my knowledge, right, is more melodic and more like female vocals, touch your soul kind of thing. Andrew Rayel is like smash your face, like recently more and more harder, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But both is trance.
Both is trance. So that is for the tastemakers, right? Your aficionados, like they know what they really like. Like for example, for me, I do not prefer Tale of Us. I prefer Masano. I prefer Joris Vaughan. I do not prefer Adam Beyer, right? I respect the type of music that all of these others put out, but it's just not my preference, right? So I got tickled when I saw Wukong, right, with his 老夫子 Tale of Us. It's actually quite funny to me. Yeah.
It's like they over glorify that visual, right? And then Wukong just had to like.
It's a parody, but it's okay. But to be fair, it works in the Asian market because the Western market, I don't think most of them know who is 老夫子. Yeah. So like that's why with even for example these phases, right, or even artists themselves, they have different moods. They have different personas. Like Martin Garrix, he has this more deep house tech persona called Y Tram, which is Marty spelled backwards. He has a more pop based act like Area 21 with another of his mates. You have David Guetta,
Jack Beck.
Yeah, Jack Beck.
Yeah,
I love Overtone by Jack Beck. It's like,
Yeah. Wow, so many aliases. Yeah, so when you hire Armin van Buuren and it's 3 different sets, it also comes at 3 different price points. Am I right?
So it depends, right? Like I haven't had the honor of being able to do 3 sets within one festival before. Usually it's only for one, but because the way that artists, bookers kind of do it, right, is that they want to give the maximum amount of value whenever an artist comes to, let's say, a region. So like in Europe, you can have one artist performing in Croatia, let's say during dawn, and then flying over to, let's say, Italy or maybe France, right, for another show within the same night. Because it's in a way that close lah. Europe is not as big as we think it is lah.
It's like some combo deal, right? Then a different venue will like get discount because like a bundle booking or something.
Correct. So like our head of talent, right, for Ultra Asia, he also does tours like that. Like we were having dinner with Morton the other night, right? In Bali lah. So it's just a very interesting avenue when you understand how the artist thinks, and then you can actually kind of discuss further components with the booker. right? Because, for instance, like there are some artists that yes, while they're interested in the commercials, right, to survive, everybody does that. But when they come to a region, they want to expand their brand. So what can they do? Is it they release exclusive merch? Is it they do some workshops as part of community building? Right. There's a reason why, for instance, Armin van Buuren works so well in, let's say, some markets, but like for other markets, it's totally different. Like Korea, to sell out a show, the type of DJs you get is totally different from Japan.
Even though they are so near. Yeah.
It's just like
Japan,
Singapore.
what kind of artist? Is it like DMB or something?
No. So with Japan, they have a love affair with DJ Snake, Skrillex.
Bass music.
Yeah, more, well, not, yeah, I would say more towards trap, right? And in Korea, they have a sort of a preference towards progressive house or house in general.
Big room.
Big room. Because of the culture, if you notice, like that is what probably their mainstream music has kind of adopted in terms of the style.
Yeah.
Then it kind of provides that context lah.
Yeah, it's like so funny to see that like a global brand like Ultra is so concerned about the community, and then you look at local clubs, right? They can't give two shits about the community, you know.
No, so this is the thing. I think maybe because it may be only in Singapore, right? Because if you think about it, from our upbringing, we are very safe. There's no real intent to kind of go beyond, right?
Yeah.
Which, for example, you look at Thailand, how thriving the nightlife scene is.
Oh yeah, and so near Singapore.
Yeah, and look at Bali. And I feel a bit sad because Zoukout is a concept, right, that actually started out very long ago with Lincoln. It was a great idea. The problem was with the emergence of DWP. I mean, obviously, by that time, he already sold off the brand, right?
Yeah.
DWP, 808 Festival, all happening within the same period. That harmonious relationship, right, has now evolved to in such a way that it drove their core market away. Because let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
When you look at your Instagram feed on Zoukout Weekend, how many of your friends are actually at DWP or 808 instead?
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
That's my point.
A
right?
lot, yeah. But why do they go there?
Because it's so much cheaper. The native cost in Singapore is crazy, right? Like when I did Zoukout with Jeremy that year, right, I tried my best to lower down the cost, but Unlimited Productions came up with a very expensive design lah, so I had to try to make things work. But when you take the same thing, you transport it to Indonesia.
Yeah. Divide by 10 or something.
Well, I mean because the currency is not as strong, right?
Yeah.
I'm being nice in that lah,
Yeah.
right? But also because raw materials, labor, everything is way cheaper. So DWP is able to do more.
They can upscale.
Take it this way, if I take $100, right, on average, would I spend $100 on DWP or Zoukout in today's age? Let's say with last year's lineup, right? The answer, I believe, would be DWP. Despite the fact that yes, you need to pay for your hotel and your flights, but it will still be cheaper to go all out, not the keyword, all out in Indonesia.
Yeah, and more stages also.
More stages.
More selection.
Yeah.
All for the same price.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem about why it's very hard for shows to survive in Singapore. Even with Laneway or whatsoever.
But to pause this point and go back to the previous point, is like, why were there harmonious relationships before? Like in what sense?
The harmonious relationship comes in the form of sharing bookings, right? And trying not to cannibalize each other in such a way. But I'm not as... Okay, I had this very interesting conversation with Pulin, right? Who's one of the main artist bookers for S2O. At that period of time, I was trying to do... when I was still at Pico, we were trying to launch this product called Hideout, right?
Oh, Hideout Festival?
Yeah, so we had J Balvin, we had...
Snake!
Yeah, DJ Snake.
Holy shit.
It wasn't easy to get those deals, right?
Dude, crazy.
But the thing is, we tried to share artists together.
With another festival.
Correct. Because in that way, like your overall cost is a little bit more value for money.
Like 20% off, 10% off.
Because you think about it this way, if I take a flight from Amsterdam or US, right, to Singapore, then I go back, it's very expensive. But if I get 2 shows, right?
Multi-city.
Yeah, multi-city even, right? I can earn more, but yet I don't charge more, if I'm making sense here.
Yeah, of course. The group booking.
Yeah, and it is always a case whereby, okay, they will select their own headliners.
Wait,
like, not all.
Who select their own hit? Like the
So
individual
for
festival?
instance, individual festival will select their main unique headliners so as to not to cannibalize each other, right?
Okay.
I'm not saying that there isn't conversations going on, but I just felt that probably because as time goes by, right, people become more selfish. It's inevitable, right? Like information is king in the industry, so you just need to be careful. Yeah.
But like, is there like an opportunities for like, clubs in Singapore to band together to create something so as to survive this like very harsh market?
Okay, this is the biggest potential challenge I see, right? There are a lot of subgroups that has emerged through the years, and please tell me if you feel otherwise. What I've observed, right, is that there is the Siam Tiu clique,
Yes.
and there's the underground parties clique, and there's
Mainstream club lah.
your mainstream clique. Right? I wanted to correct. Mainstream is the correct word.
Yeah.
So whether all of them can band together, right, is pretty tough. You cannot. It's very hard to imagine. Well, you can imagine a Wukong, right, performing before, like, let's say Nicky Romero Afrojack. You can, right? But the Siam Tiu people, they don't necessarily listen to Wukong. You get what I mean? The vibe has evolved, and especially with COVID happening, right, it has just become more challenging, right? Like, I know Arc 11 and everywhere, they are trying their best. They are new, amazing places. It's just whether it is sustainable in the long run without much involvement in growing the community. It's very tough.
Wow, sustainable. Whether is it sustainable to don't grow the community?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the key
It's
is
just a
to-
question.
The key is still to grow the community so that you help the community, they help you. That's just the only way, one.
Which that's why Zouk has a very good legacy, right? Because of the way it has grown in the past few years. But right now, unfortunately, I may be wrong here. It's very subjective, but in my objective opinion, Marquee has overtaken that crown by a lot.
Like
Yes.
the top mega club of the country. Lah.
Yeah, yes, they have spent quite a fair bit during their opening, but that was to establish a presence and a community, right? And slowly but surely, you can see a lot of familiar faces going over to Marquee, right? I
The
think,
regulars, even staff.
Yeah. So if you don't create new communities, it's pretty hard to sustain, right?
Correct.
I'm not saying Zouk doesn't have it; they do, right? But there will come a day where everything suddenly falls apart, right? You will never know which day it will be.
Yeah.
But I have to give kudos to like Huey and Andrew for expanding into Vegas. That was a mega master brilliant move, right?
Yeah.
Because Singapore's market is just so small, right?
Yeah.
You cannot sustain. Even a lot of Siam Tius, they actually kind of close down after shortly opening because there's not enough crowd to sustain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's like with so little people, and if you still don't work on the community, it's like death is just certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also very tricky because when our neighbours, right, like
so
in
much
Southeast
cheaper.
Asia, so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Yes, STB helps to promote a lot of things, but even getting those tourists here to go crazy and all out spend like crazy rich Asians, right, it's not that easy. Like, there are a lot of rich Indons and Thais that come to Singapore to just splurge, right?
Yeah.
Sure, but they are not here every time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So with our rising costs and our entertainment value, right, the same as Thailand, or our entertainment value might even be lower.
Actually, it's lower.
Yeah, so how can we fight, Do you have any strategies?
The main thing is about you need to really think about creating the signature, right? What I mean by that, right, is for instance, DJ Snake has its very iconic sound. Like, yeah,
Like a trumpet,
yeah.
horn, Arabic sound.
Yeah, the Arabic sound, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy for someone to create a signature like that, right?
Yeah.
But for better or for worse, it's a case where we need to go overseas to get a firm status, right? Like, for example, I saw this very funny thing. Like, Men, he has done a lot in the US.
Yes.
And that's how he has also expanded.
Yes.
Right? There's a Singaporean in the World Wrestling Federation right now. He just did his SmackDown debut.
Okay.
I only know about it because I saw it on Google News.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And unfortunately, you kind of need to do that. If you think about it, right, if Lin Junjie didn't go to Taiwan,
Yes.
he wouldn't have got to where he is right now. Sun Yanzi, same. Tanya Chua, also same. Yeah. If you think about it, do you even know most of the MediaCorp actors now? No, right?
Now no lah. Yeah.
That's the
I
problem.
say my fan Wong, Hollywood, then that's why we know.
Yeah. So in essence, you in order to really succeed, you need to kind of go out. Because in Singapore, we are being very restricted, to be very honest, right? Like, you go overseas, you really get a lot of insight and inspiration, right? Then you can evolve and create your own signature style. Like, Men has his signature style now.
Yeah.
So it's a very powerful tool. And then once you get that traction, come back, like, then you kind of work with the community, do like all of the underground parties, right? Then that's how you can really hold your own. You know that probably for Singapore, you have made it, right? I think the only measuring stick is Lin Junjie because no other artist can technically sell out locally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. And he's so big until like even Ed Sheeran like bring him out on stage and do like a collab segment.
Yeah.
You know, so even Ed Sheeran team also know that wow, this guy can affect his country in a way that can be beneficial to our concert lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's when you know you have made it, lor. For better or for worse, because we are not in the US, right? Like, it's not as easy to gain inspiration to spin or produce a track for, let's say, a rapper, right? The Weeknd or the next Lil Wayne or whatever. It's not that easy. In Singapore, the opportunities are so limited because of the way that we were inculcated when we were young.
Yeah.
I think the government is doing their best, but the problem is they don't necessarily know what today's society requires, in my opinion. Right?
Correct.
Sure.
Correct.
Catch me to jail. I'm not criticizing the government, right? I think they have good intentions. It's just that with a group of scholars, you may not necessarily see the light on how we need to evolve. That's why Thailand is a very awesome creative hub. Singapore, yes, there are awesome creators, but very little.
I mean, like recently, the Lawrence Wong he released the 2024 budgets, and then he's talking about like injecting like $1 or $2 billion into the art scene. But then the thing is, like, arts is so wide, you know. It's not just the music festivals. There's so many drawn
There's
art.
a lot.
So you know where they inject is also another curiosity. We also don't know whether is it like properly allocated also or not. Then how it's gonna like level up the scene. There's like so much unknowns. So
I think it was announced in the news, right, that I think Gardens by the Bay, they are expanding, right? That's all I can say lah. Based on the news report. I mean, obviously I know more things, but I cannot say, right? But the thing is, there's an intent in that newspaper article to kind of create the Bay East property as a entertainment destination as well.
So is it like the MBS 3 building want to make the 4th building?
No, that is different.
Totally different thing.
Totally different. The MBS, the entertainment complex, is a commercial affair, right? The one at Bay East is really like the Dajia Gongyuan in Taiwan, where Ultra Taiwan is, where there are constantly like music shows done there, or Paradise City in Incheon in Korea.
Like a cheap rental to keep the arts alive kind of concept, is it?
Yeah, think of it as they are somewhat creating a clean version of Ushuaia.
Okay.
Ushuaia is the Ibiza club that has all of the big DJ residencies, right? But that's the success of Ushuaia.
Ushuaia Tuesday night, David Guetta back-to-back Armin van Buuren. What the heck?
On a Tuesday,
random one. It's like super random.
It's random.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, because they have built their branding in such a way, right,
Yeah.
that they have capitalized on it. Everybody wants to do residencies there because it's a sexy destination.
Yeah.
Same with Bali.
Unrestricted like consumables.
I don't know about that, like yeah,
But
but
it's like the country is really it's like that really, right?
yeah, but
I've never been. I hope to be there one day because it's like wow, it's like one of the dream destination I want to go.
but expensive lah.
Very expensive. Is it?
Yeah,
They got a hotel right just beside the club only. Right. Yeah.
yeah, but if you want to experience that, I would suggest the best place to do that is at ADE or Winter Music Conference in Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
I know one of the conference like closed down already. It's not the winter. There's like two conferences. One in the Europe, one in the States. One right. I forget.
Europe is ADE, right? Then in US it's Winter Music Conference.
Okay.
For electronic music, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah. But AD is something that is like very synonymous to electronic dance music because like every DJ booking manager of Zouk, of Marquee or what, they will just make their way there to build the connections. And,
Correct. That's very important, right? Because only when you trust someone, then you can work with them, right? But the funny thing is, if you notice, right, ADE is very European. Not much Americans would go there.
Oh, but Asians also go ADE.
No, Asians go to ADE either to really book or really work right? Basically, WMC Winter Music Conference is actually very different because while ADE promotes a lot of like sub parties, there's a conference that talks about proper stuff, right? Winter Music Conference is really a showcase of music.
What's the difference? One is like proper stuff, one is music. What's the difference?
No, so during Winter Music Conference, right, I'm not saying no bookings are done there. There's still relationship building, right? But the focus is more towards the music.
Oh, so it's like Kashmir and then one big screen at the back. Okay, so this is how I produce the song and then all that kind of thing.
In a way, the master classes are a bit more intimate. This is just my observation, right? Whereas AD, because it's so commercialized, right, it's very, I wouldn't use the word transactional, but it's a bit more formal, right? You can't swear as much. You have to be very professional. Yeah.
It's more like business deal kind of place.
Correct. It's a bit more serious, in my opinion, right? Based on my experiences.
That's where the DJ Mag Top 100 DJs, Top 200 clubs or whatever is presented there also, right?
Yeah, but contrary to a very, I do not really agree with the rankings, so I haven't paid attention to it.
Yeah. Like many people in the scene.
Yeah, because how do you really define number one?
Yeah. It's by how much money you pay or how many people vote for you?
The voting system is still strong, but you need to remember that DJ Mag is predominantly European. Yeah.
Hey, Riff Republic on DJ Mag Top 100.
So that's why I wanted to ask, what is the definition of a DJ today, right? In my opinion, it's about production of your music as well, right? If you're just remixing tracks or if you're just doing mashups, right, you would come into the mold of a performer, right? Which is an art of its own also. Like Salvatore Ganacci, but he also produces his own music, right? But where most of them succeed is with the production of awesome songs, right? Like, a lot of people don't know, like DJ Snake also produced for a lot of mainstream artists.
Like Lady Gaga, all this.
Yeah.
I heard the DJ Snake story, man. It's super crazy. It's like he produced for Lady Gaga and then it became a hit album. But then he's like, wow, to me, this is not good. So he quit DJing for a while. And then after that, he come back and he developed his own like 100 BPM trap sound. Yeah. Then everybody's like, what?
Yeah, so that's the reinvention of Swedish House Mafia as well, right?
Yeah.
Or the reinvention of Hardwell, right? They have to do that because touring really takes a lot of you. When you're touring, right, you can't really concentrate.
Yeah.
That's the sad reality. It's not a case where, I mean, Martin Garrix is brilliant. He can really create well on tour, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And speaking of Hardwell, right, he kind of bring techno into the business realm with like business techno, like what everybody would like to call it. But you know, when you say that, right, okay, when you say the word techno, what does Singaporean think techno is? I feel like the older generation would think of like Eurodance in their head. That's techno to them. And then the new generation will think like big room techno is techno. And
Yeah, but it's not really correct lah. Because
whereas the real techno is like the
yeah,
you know,
because you must remember we are not really properly exposed,
Yeah.
right? Like when you go to music festivals, right, it's actually an educational process. I would urge for everybody to trust the process, right? There have been bad festivals like Fire Festival, and even
that one never even happened, bro.
yeah, when I also saw this very funny festival called Summer House Festival, right, in Indonesia. They announced Ingrosso and everybody, right? But
Wow.
I found out that it's not really legit because they didn't pay the artists.
Oh damn! Then what happened?
Then what
Did I buy
happened?
the ticket?
No, so 2 days before the show, there's these two Indonesian guys, damn fat one, right? Yeah. That just stand in front of the camera and then say sorry, we have to cancel due to unforeseen circumstances. Like, dude, a show cancellation is very severe, leh.
Yeah.
Unless you so say like me, I kena 2 shows kena cancelled, but it was because of COVID. It's damn suay lor. Like if only Ultra Abu Dhabi in 2020 was 1 week earlier, we could have done it.
Wow. Damn.
Only 1 week earlier because the World Health Organization announcement happened on that week. And also granted lah, because my hotel that I was staying at, like everybody, there was a triathlon event that happened previously, right? Then suddenly, there were a lot of positive cases.
Oh.
So I was being locked down in the hotel with potential problems that there's not enough food lah.
Wow. Shit. How many days were you stuck inside there?
I was very fortunate, so I was only stuck there for 3 nights. But I have colleagues that were stuck there for like more than 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
Because in the week, because we live in different wings, right, of the hotel.
Yeah.
So we actually managed to escape.
Okay.
Because to be fair, nobody knew the protocol for COVID then, right?
Yeah.
So it was very vague. But those that were forced to stay, right, because they were in the same wing as the triathlon athletes that tested positive, 2 weeks is not easy.
Wow.
I've endured the COVID quarantine, right, for a few times already. 2 weeks in your own hotel room, it will drive you nuts. Yeah.
No entertainment, nothing. TV only. TV also keep repeating.
But to be fair, I was working on a few projects lah, so I wasn't that bored, but I had to finish a bottle of monkey shoulder every night.
Huh?
It was that bad.
Every night?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Because the thing is, you're in the room, and somehow like Singapore hotel room is, well, it's good. They're not very big lah, right? So you can go crazy.
Just keep going in circle. Call people.
How many circles can you go? How many people can you really call without being annoying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck, man.
because during COVID, I actually was flying in to like Europe and everywhere lah.
During COVID, you were still flying.
Yeah.
So the festival technically didn't even shut down throughout COVID.
No, because for that particular project, the festival, right, we tried to do an online entertainment platform, right? It was very ambitious, but yeah, I think
Is it something like EDC with the Pasquale hosting it?
it's okay. So what EDC did was very grassroots driven, which
Yeah.
was good for their community. But the project was quite ambitious because we filmed all of the artists like Nicky Romero, DJ Snake, at all like unique places. Like DJ Snake, we filmed him at the Guest Houder, which is where Awakenings Festival happened. He, just alone there spinning, and he was. And for our show, he was the only. He never did any online streams. Only our show.
Oh, exclusive.
Yeah. So like we did a crazy production. So I can send you the video links lah. But yeah, it's just a challenge lah because there were a lot of unforeseen problems which we managed to solve. But yeah, timing was a bit challenging lah.
Yeah, so during these 2 years, right, many companies definitely take a huge loss. Did Ultra also take a huge loss?
Of course.
And how do you all like minimize the loss?
The thing is, we had to kind of divide and conquer. So, okay, for example, for the online show that I was doing, right, I had the lighting programmer for the weekend helping me to program the lights.
Heck?
Because they had nothing.
Oh.
So they were willing to do something for a lower rate because demand and supply, right?
Yeah.
For Ultra, it was just constant planning and redivision. And it was really a miracle. Like Ultra in 2020, November, was the only festival in the whole world.
Oh,
Ultra Taiwan. We had Alesso,
you all started first.
Timmy Trumpet. There was an opportunity, right? But it was a very unique and weird one because in 2020 there were no festivals after, of course, the announcement, right?
Yeah.
Shows cancelled one after another like flies. Then suddenly November 2020, there's an Ultra in Taiwan? Yeah. But it was quite challenging because the artists had to be quarantined.
And how people fly in?
No, it's a local event.
Or local?
Yeah.
Oh. Then how was the reception?
It is crazy. I can send you another video link. Yeah, I got a lot of links to send you. But like Alesso's, wow, it was surreal. Like it's I think it probably is still one of the top few memories he has.
Wow.
In that surreal moment.
What's the turnout?
Close to 20,000.
Wow. That's a lot.
You need to remember, Taiwan had COVID in check
Yeah.
by isolating themselves, right?
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. You can't deny that it didn't work.
So they are like the first to be reinstated back their freedom.
Yeah, I mean it's a smart move, and to the world, like it's really unique. You just Google Alesso set at Ultra 2019, right? 2020.
Yeah.
In Taiwan. Wow, you look at the comments, it's like wow, surreal. Really.
Like after never kind of locked down for 1 year plus, then finally released, and then got music
Yeah.
festival. Wow.
Yeah, so like when I went to Miami in 2022, when they just came back, right? Because 2021 is still a big question mark, right? Wow, everybody didn't have masks. There's not much COVID cases, I think. Because I didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
But then to be fair, I never got COVID before, so I don't know if I'm
Till now.
till now.
What the hell?
At the height of COVID, I went to the most dangerous countries without masks. I still didn't get it.
Oh.
I go to US in a music festival
Yeah.
and to 11 and all those, right? Like I still didn't get it also.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe I hang on.
Asymptomatic. Maybe you kena, but like you're not ill, Maybe. Yeah. So I remember in a podcast with Diplo, right? He said that he run his own music festival, so it's Mad Decent Block Party, right? But it's so difficult to do it like every month. So now he's like maybe like twice a year or something. And then he's like, if you want to do it in other countries, right, there are like much bigger conglomerates that are running, namely like Ultra. So how did Ultra manage to like stay like sustainable and profitable throughout like the 26 years of running, right? When many others have failed.
I can't speak on the origins of Miami, right? But I can probably say for the Asian shows, the first few years were not profitable. It's about making a statement here. But look at Korea and Japan, for example. Ultra is one of the biggest right now down there, right? So you don't really have to announce artists. People know that you'll be good, right?
Yeah, it's like trust.
Yeah. And that's the thing that we really need to start building up. So like Neon has done amazing work in Thailand to build up that reputation. Same with DWP.
Yep.
So there's a lack of a person that's daring to lose a lot, right? Because it's really a lot.
Yeah.
It's really a lot to kind of build that footing and then reap the rewards after that.
Yeah.
It's just like for the Ultra Miami folks, or even Tomorrowland, or even Pascala, right?
Yeah.
They didn't profit a lot or whatever until like when the EDM scene really exploded in 2012.
Maybe 5-10 years in, then they start making something.
Yeah.
Take very long run.
It's a long shot game, right? Yeah. But the rewards, the financial rewards are crazy because you look at EDC, for example, they are able to franchise their brand for millions of dollars. Oh, you want to do EDC, let's say in South Korea. Okay, give me 2 mil USD. That's just for me. Haven't include my crew, haven't include whatever stuff yet. That's how the licensing model works because they have evolved to not be in the entertainment business, but to become a licensed business, right? It's the same logic why Live Nation has bought over Creamfields and stuff like that, right? Wireless.
So Live Nation now is the biggest already.
I mean, for better or for worse, because they had a lot of balls, right? American balls, they are damn big one. Make a gamble, it paid off. Is this the reason why Live Nation has so much leverage, right, when it comes to getting exclusive artists? Because they are willing to, let's say, lose money in a country, but they know they will make back in another country.
Wow.
They have the appetite.
To like educate the audience about a new artist or something like that, and build a brand.
Yes, and there's something severely lacking in Singapore because, like with the Andrew Real and Gareth Emery example that I shared earlier, right? Like not much people would know the difference, but they are very different. Yeah. It's just like everybody think, oh, Martin Garrix, Nicky Romero, Afrojack is like the same. No leh. No.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, man, to us. But then the thing is, like, when you are the only person that know, right, then you look like the stupid one. Everybody is like, no lah, same one.
No, but it's a very simplistic way of putting it, right? But like with Martin Garrix, when he performs with Matisse and Zoukout or third party, where they just release a new track, right? Like it's very euphoric. But when he does stuff with, let's say, Tiesto or David Guetta, it's a bit more punchy, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on the format you prefer for things to be as well, right? But in Singapore especially, we are not as well educated.
So just now you mentioned a point that to be successful in Singapore, you need to make it overseas first, right? So let's just say I'm running a club in Singapore, and then I want my club to be happening. Should I like open a club in overseas first, make it happening overseas, then bring it back to Singapore?
Okay, this is the cynical thing about Singaporeans.
Yep.
If I were to... Okay, again, this is a bit subjective. I have to admit this with a huge disclaimer. Because if you actually start off a concept, let's say in the US, in New York, or like wherever westernized countries, Singaporeans are more welcoming compared to if you start off in China.
I mean, we are like an English-speaking nation first, right? If you think about it.
Yeah, we are, but it's very unique. Like for instance, there's this new Korean Michelin star concept that opened at Como.
I'm not sure.
Como
is like
Como Orchard.
Orchard lah.
Okay. One of Mr. Ong Bing Sing's hotels. Yeah. So it's packed, even though it's super expensive.
Korean Michelin star.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it originated from New York.
Yeah, that's why I was, because in my previous podcast with Andrew Ng, I was like asking him about like the Asians' reverence of the West. We always think that whatever white people do is always premium, we're always better.
They are very smart at doing the positioning, even from the colonial times.
Yeah.
But if you go bang for buck, right, China is doing amazing things as well.
Yeah.
But there is a very weird relationship local pure born bred Singaporeans, right, have towards certain perceptions of brand origins, right? Like during my era, because I'm quite old, right, I prefer things from Japan, right? That's during the Ayumi Hamasaki era and stuff like that, right? But nowadays they prefer things from Korea. Both are good, don't get me wrong, but it's just but even till today I still prefer Japanese food to Korean food. That's just me lah. Like Korean barbecue versus yakiniku, right? I prefer yakiniku.
I guess it's like your era is like Japan's more trending, but then now it's like Korea is more trending.
Now China is actually dominating the market, but the fact of the matter is in China they are smart because they stray away from the Jack Ma direction where you want to be loud. No, a lot of the China companies now, they are okay with taking a back seat in order to earn more money.
Soft power, that's the China way, right?
Correct.
Soft power.
Because the moment you are in the limelight, the moment you screw up, you are screwed. Yeah.
So that's for business lah. Then what about like so let's just say if you want to grow a club, you might want to like create it somewhere else, then bring to the Asian country, something like that.
No, it's not that case. Okay, so that's why what I'm saying with that Western and China example, right? It's just a reference point because unless you really have a very strong community, right, that you build locally, like how Lincoln did with Zouk, right, it's very hard. If you think about it, Marquee is an American brand, right? Yes. So there's you are saving on community building budgets and how should I put it? Community building budgets as well as marketing budgets, I put it this way. Right? But
because of its American heritage, then
not American heritage, but the marketing has already been done.
In US.
In US, right? So to transport all of those content here is easy. Just imagine if you are setting up a new club or a new festival, right? For a new club, you need to show what concept your club is. You need to educate the public and stuff like that. Whereas if I bring Marquee, everybody knows Marquee. I already got all of the images and the branding done already. I just plug and play.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Ultra, right? Everything from Miami, plug and play. Rather than I try to create a new festival, I need to really educate people about what are we and stuff like that.
Yeah, so a lot more groundwork. It's like basically starting from zero.
Yeah, and it's very, very tough.
Yeah.
Very.
So what most local clubs in Singapore is they just pander to the locals and just keep playing the same stuff over and over again.
And that affects the educative process. Right?
So the scene cannot grow. And then people rather choose to go Thailand instead of stay in Singapore.
Yeah, so if you think about it, like right now, Marquee is trying to groom that knowledge base, right? Like for instance, there's this artist that I really admire called James Hype. Right?
So technical.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a fixed genre, to be clear. But because of his technical skills, right, it's educating a whole new crowd. Right?
Yeah.
Like last time Zouk dared to book like Peggy Go, but back then she was still growing, right? But because Zouk was willing to explore with different stuff, that's what made Zouk who they are, right? But right now, because everything is so expensive and everything is so commercialized, it's very tough. It's not easy to get another Zouk or find another Zouk here. Like even Butterfact or whatever, right? It died down also. Because they didn't really have an identity.
It's hard to find and it's also hard to make, create another.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why so there's this music festival called Legacy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they are trying to create their own identity through hardstyle. Which is a smart move. Because I think when they tried, they were ambitious. They tried to have like Tiesto, Don Diablo during their first year as Sentosa, right? They did manage to sell a lot of tickets because it was still a new brand and stuff. Slowly but surely they realized, okay, let's go with hardstyle. We can save a bit more because we don't need all those commercial acts, right? Get one band Nicky or whoever can already, right? It will naturally sell tickets.
So, fun fact, first podcast, Revelry podcast, is with Andrew T.
Yes.
And he talked about why he created like a hardstyle edition, right? It's because the hardstyle community is already there and greatly underappreciated lah. And they actually dance to the music and not sing, like hard dance music, electronic dance music. So they were like essentially made to be like a festival genre. Correct. And then when he created this like hard dance thing and he just took off,
it's a good decision in my opinion.
Especially in Singapore market.
Especially in Singapore, but the thing is, he did it at roughly the right time when hardstyle was really emerging in the underground scenes, right? But right now it's a little bit mixed
with techno.
Yeah. Like it's so funny. Like imagine if I realized there's a lot of Man Yao DJs that also came up recently as well, right? They perform very well in Indonesia, It's just an eye opener because I was in Jakarta, right, for the New Year's Eve, right. Like I spoke to a few club owners and things, and said, Man Yao, we want inquisitive. I think his genre and all the Man Yao style really work there a lot. But in Singapore, it's a little bit more limited. Probably it's because of our community base.
But I would say I thought Man Yao might not work overseas because of like language barriers or something.
The Indon-Chinese, there's a lot of Indon-Chinese.
A lot of Indon-Chinese.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Thailand. I'm really not sure, right? But when I saw, it really works there.
Yeah. But I feel like it's like a little bit like half in my thinking, because if like you are doing something like a not common language, then you're like alienating everyone else. But it can also like kind of like bring rise to like culturalism, like Bad Bunny, how he introduced like Spanish to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, lor.
Or like,
It's got-
or like how Wukong with his awesome visuals, like, wow,
Yeah,
created a more theatrical form of manyao lah, right?
Yeah.
But you just need, as an artist, I think you just need to be careful what you want to do, right? Or as an artist or as a performer, because it's very hard to be all, right? Like Martin Garrix, he works very hard. All the big acts, they all work very hard, but they have a specialization.
Yeah.
DJ Stick's specialization is with the production of his music, right? The performance aspect is all great, right? But what I think he likes to do more is the production of awesome hits and tracks. I know his album coming up soon, that's reported in the Grammy or some entertainment website.
But he's retired though from touring or forever. Or you know, but you cannot tell us.
I cannot say anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit, man. It's like when you know too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing, right? Because once you get to a certain stature, you will be privy to a lot of pieces of information.
Yeah.
Then it's a test of your own ethics, right? What you can keep in.
Yeah.
Then from there, if people know you can shut your mouth, then obviously they will trust you more lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very, very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
From like starting out as an artist and then now to like running events, running my own company, while you really know more and more shit, and it's like sometimes like holy shit, like am I supposed to know this shit?
Correct, but it's just like my enemy's enemy is my best friend, right? In a way.
Yeah.
Like today we live in an age that in an ideal scenario we can't be like a Gordon Ramsay and F everybody, right? We need to maintain a lot of our relationships. Granted, because we are also Asian, we kind of look into it a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Westerners don't do it, they do, right? But we just do it differently.
Yeah.
But it's just so interconnected now.
Yeah.
And the industry is so small.
Yeah. It's like I might be your customer today, but tomorrow I might be your boss. Like
Or something lah.
yeah. I've like this scenario so many times until I'm like holy shit.
Yeah.
That's like that's I guess part and parcel of like growing up lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Ultra again, what is Ultra's biggest competition? Tomorrowland?
Well, okay. Let me put it this way. The top 3 electronic music festivals in the world is Tomorrowland, Ultra, Miami, and EDC, right? That's the common ones. There are other concepts like Untold Festival and all those, right? Creamfields. Yes, those are good of its
More
own.
regional, is it?
When you want to actually talk about competitors, it's very hard to define, right? Why? Tomorrowland's core target market is so different from Ultra Miami's target market.
Yep.
And EDC's target market is so different from Ultra Miami's target market because Ultra Miami is to capture all the spring breakers or people in the East Coast. And then obviously with their global live stream, Ultra was the one that revolutionized the live stream actually, right? Then it got people from all over the world with the plur and all the peace, love, unity, respect, and all of that subcultures. Everywhere else also had their own. It's just that for Tomorrowland, their home base is Europe. So you get a lot of Europeans, right? Fundamentally. And a lot of Asians lah.
For Tomorrowland, they never franchise as much as Ultra, right?
They do franchise, but they are very protective on what they do, right? Because, like, for instance, Tomorrowland, they did a show in Brazil. Previously, there was some exploration talks to do a show in Thailand, right?
Tomorrowland, Thailand.
Yes. And I don't know if you are aware, they actually licensed the Tomorrowland name to open up this party resort in Dubai called Terra Solis.
I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like a glamping destination. Then they will have like Tomorrowland One World Radio and stuff like that there.
Right.
And if you notice, EDC on the other hand, they grew from the West Coast and they dominated the West Coast, right? Then they slowly kind of expanded out. But if you look at like Miami or even Florida, the whole state, right? EDC does their show like 6 months later in Orlando, right? Ultra Miami does it in Bayfront Park, right? And the funniest thing, every time I'm at the backstage area, right, because it's facing the sea, they will always have seaplanes and boats publicizing the other event.
Fly onto each other's territory.
Yeah. No, it's just funny lah, but like, I mean, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
That's why there's your own worst competitor once you get to that level, right? Whereas if let's say you're talking about the other festivals, it depends on their direction also lah.
Right.
Like Creamfields, they dominate UK, right?
But Creamfields at first got Australia, right?
No, that's future music.
Oh, future music.
Yeah, that's future music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Creamfields, I think got somewhere like Asia, Oceania.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, right? Yeah.
Recently, they did it in Hong Kong. They did it in Taiwan as well.
Yeah.
And I think there was another city. But I mean, there are challenges lah. Yeah.
But if you talk about like market cap, because like for example in the airline industry, right, when they talk about like biggest airline, they always talk about market cap, market share lah. Would you say like Ultra is like the biggest, or is it like Tomorrowland is the biggest, or what? I think maybe Ultra is the biggest, no? Because Ultra has so many franchise if you think about it.
So I asked you this question, which is probably a better comparison, right?
Yes.
Hawker Chan. Probably Ultra is like a Hawker Chan. Or would you go for Imperial Treasure? Or Canton, like you know Putian. The one I teach about.
Yeah, I know. Putian.
It's about that mentality lah. Because Putian has a lot of franchises also, right? But it's not as much as Hawker Chan ma.
Yeah.
Hawker Chan now is really global. Putian is only in those few selected countries, right? It's a different offering. But if you ask me objectively, like, do you define success or the biggest in terms of number of attendees globally with multiple shows, or by highest number of attendees with each show? Then that's the main question.
So I think Tomorrowland is more like less shows but each has more, right?
Yeah.
Then Ultra has more shows but less.
Ultra only has 7 stages previously, right? Actually now also 7 stages. EDC has a lot of stages. Tomorrowland has a lot of stages.
Yeah.
Because why they want to do a lot of stages, right, is because they want to fully focus on the subcultures. In America and Europe, they have enough population, right?
Yeah.
Ultra focuses on those 7 because they just want to make the biggest lineup for each concept, right? In that order.
Yeah.
So that goes back to like, do you define market cap as most in one show or what? Like, it's tricky lah.
Yeah, it could be like attendees attending, or it could be like most revenue. Yeah.
If you're talking about most attendees, probably it would be Tomorrowland, with EDC coming at a hard second. There's another few lah, right? Like Wacken Open Air has more, but that's not electronic.
Most attendees per show, is it? Or
for
per
each
year?
Like, okay, if you're talking about per year, Ultra will win.
Because more worldwide.
Yes,
right?
that's why I
Yeah.
need to
Per year
contextualize
lah.
lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we can go in a little bit about the concepts of Ultra, because the only Ultra I played for was Road to Ultra Singapore.
All right. Okay, I put it this way. Ultra Music Festival typically has let's talk about the Miami show lah. Probably it's easiest, right?
It's like HQ.
It's a HQ. So they have the main stage, which is your typical commercial acts, right?
Yeah. Regardless of genre, as long as it's commercial, correct?
Yeah.
Then the programming is chill to hard.
No.
Yeah.
So
I'm very curious about that.
So okay, if you ask me objectively, like how Ultra does their programming is basically they have the balls to do what nobody dares to do, right? Why I say that is if you look at the lineups for each show, right, you have everybody that's normal, but there's something special about Ultra Miami because all of the artists, right, they will release their newest things there, they will release their new concepts there. For Tomorrowland, because the stage is all the props ma, you don't really have much avenues to do special stuff, right? Like Salvatore Ganacci can only climb the truss until like that only, right? You get what I mean? Like Tale of Us, for their Tomorrowland main stage set, I felt it was pretty boring lah.
Is it because the screen is limited?
In a way,
set design.
And the timing probably was. Tale of Us is always a night act lah. I put it this way, right?
Evening to night,
Yeah.
right? Is it sunset set lah?
No, dark.
Dark.
It has to be dark.
Okay.
Right. Then their music mood or whatever shines up more. So for Ultra main stage, yes, that's the commercial acts. They have the balls to like debut Martin Garrix at freaking 16 years old, right? When he couldn't even drink, right? At the main stage. Yeah, he had the balls to do that. And look at where Martin Garrix is right now.
I remember one year when Jeremy Bala was sharing with me the lineup of Ultra Miami, it was like Dubs, then Kygo, then Carnage. And then it's like the energy level is like, bah, 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 you know, it's like, wow, it's so daring.
They have the balls to do it, right? Then there is another stage which I love that stage a lot. That's called the live stage in Miami.
All your guitar, dubstep, everything.
Well, okay, so the live stage is predominantly for artists who have live concepts. So for instance, for Kashmir, right, he has the orchestra experience, which I did the same show for my Abu Dhabi show, right? I got that show. It was amazing, right?
Is it like Illenium or this Illenium Live or that kind of thing?
So, yes, they do have, but the live concept is very diverse. It doesn't mean that you take the guitar then like that play, right? It doesn't mean that you are like Fred again, just press on the launch pad with the pianos and stuff like that. It doesn't just mainly mean that. It can be a showcase of like visual concepts like Grimes. Not around Grimes, Grimes.
Grimes AI.
Yeah. There's so
that's not even a DJ. That's like primarily a singer.
Yeah. It's like Daft Punk last time with the
cube thing, aerodynamism or something like that, right? Yeah.
Then the third stage is called the worldwide stage, right?
Yeah, I'm very confused about that. I always thought worldwide stage is like bass music.
Not necessarily, right? Because the worldwide stage also played host to label takeovers before. A State of Trance was done there as well. Right?
So worldwide stage, what's the concept? Is it like regionals or?
The main thing is more on up and coming as well as genre concepts. Right? We have a radio stage. That's where label concepts come in.
Radio stage. Ultra radio stage.
It is not a big stage at all.
Yeah.
And there are trees poking up randomly, right? Covering the front of the stage.
Yeah.
But like you were, like for example, when Stem Records takes over, right? Martin Garrix will suddenly pop up and do a throwback set. With Revealed Records, right? Like Hardwell will just suddenly pop up, do a pre-COVID Hardwell set, right? Or pre-retirement set.
I remember the review stage is Blaster Jack's DJing, then Hardwell come out MC, then suddenly play zombie, hardstyle, everything.
It's very raw. It's like a group of friends just getting drunk and having fun and performing to people, right? But it's awesome. I like the vibe there, right? There is the Resistance Megastructure stage, which is essentially what we call a cowcock stage, with all of your techno genres and stuff like that. It's a crazy, insane production, right? There's the Resistance Cove stage, which is predominantly for resistance-based label concepts.
Wow.
Right?
Resistance was started by Carl Cox, right? Like a concept.
It was exploration between Russell Fabish, the founder, as well as obviously together with Carl Cox as well, right? That's the reason why Carl Cox is the international ambassador.
Yeah, for techno and house.
No, for Resistance.
For Resistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no, I don't know who is the real official international ambassador, right? Because there's so many different genres of techno. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, he's really like, you know, even when he come, right, Jeremy Boone will be excited, that kind of level.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, Carl Cox is here, holy shit.
Old school, right?
And the DJing is very technical. And he really goes beyond DJing. It's like 4 decks plus controller and everything. Is like
he is producing on the spot.
Let's
be clear, right? That's the reason why for artist riders, right, for Resistance shows, it's very different. Like typically, it's not the 4C DJ, 1 DJM setup there. It's not there. You not only have the Allen and Heath, the 92, you also have the RMX 1000. This and that. It's quite insane.
Yeah, rotary mixers, no faders.
Yeah, and they really produce on the spot.
I've seen Richie Hortin at Zouk Live, right? I was like going crazy, and then I kind of like identified what kind of like software that the manager used to film. He's like, hey, oh my god, you know this? So you probably in the scene, and we start drinking sake and shit. Wow. So random, dude. And then he's just like doing everything live and loop, and you can see the beat grid going.
Correct. Now that is art.
Yeah.
That is art.
Yeah, but you must be able to appreciate it, lah.
Unfortunately, it depends on the educational awareness of the crowd. Like you bring this to Berlin, it will sell out.
Yeah.
Boot House or even in London, Printworks, yeah, it will sell out.
My friend yesterday just sent me a video of Chase and Status D and
Oh,
D.
that's
Oh my
very
god!
cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, but now they got like a new hit, right? Or not?
Yeah.
And then wow, people in the crowd mosh pit and everything, so crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then I was playing at my own show at Arc 11, and then I just played like one or two. I played only 2 DMB songs. The moment one DMB song come in, right, everybody just Sedia position. Nobody move. Because it's like a
It's the
weird
awareness, yeah.
And then like maybe like a small group of fans, right? They're like, oh shit, they know it, you know?
Yeah. So that's why, unfortunately, in Singapore, like I don't know about you lah. I realize that everybody kind of gravitates towards the standard songs, right?
Yeah.
Because for better or for worse, it's about to convince the club to either get you as a resident or to get you more or whatever lah, right? It's about survival, and unfortunately, the market molds us towards that way, right? So it's about daring to just go crazy, like what DJ Snake did with his trap sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the artist can go crazy when he has like the proper backing from
Correct.
a club or an investor that can believe in the vision.
Yes.
Then
exactly.
the scene will benefit.
Yeah. Because actually, you know what is I always wanted to do it, but I don't think I will ever have the chance to do it because Singapore's market is so small. But it's to do a resistance sort of show at Pasir Panjang Power Station. Because the decor looks like Printworks.
Yeah.
Exactly like
And then you
Printworks.
can have that 9x16 screen.
Yeah, except you can't go to level 2 lah.
Yeah.
Because it's not safe.
Wow,
lah.
but it's damn big down there. Holy shit. Yeah.
You can imagine, right? Like the lights, you can go crazy with like a lot of lasers, like 20 sets of lasers, you will go crazy.
Yeah.
Gareth Emery can do his laser face set there. It's like, he just launched his new laser face concept.
Gareth Emery.
New one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think Singapore is gonna see it.
We'll see. Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality lah. Unless you are like a Coldplay, right, where there's some initiation with the tourism board or the government, right, to create only Singapore, right. The irony is they also went to Thailand to perform lah, right.
Yeah.
Putting that aside, like everybody comes to Singapore to party, right? Then okay, I think there's an avenue there. Ibiza cannot survive on its own, But you look at all the people that fly to there that created a whole market. Same for Bali also.
Yeah lah, they created what they are known for lor.
Yeah.
And you have to.
Bali is the next big thing. Well, I mean, it's already the next big thing lah. Like you just need to spend a night in Canggu, right? Yeah.
Looking doom and gloom for Singapore, man.
No, I don't think it's fully negative, right? You just need some insane people, right, to kind of create something awesome, right? And then, I mean, personally, I'm trying to explore some concepts and stuff like that also, right? Like, but I need to kind of figure out what's the best way to create that community base first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you can't really survive. You really can't.
With one transmission in Thailand, right? Like it feels like half the clubbing population in Singapore is just gone, and many clubs are like half empty during like transmission week. Because transmission is not like during the year end, not like Zoukout, what. So it doesn't really disrupt the Singapore festival, but it really disrupt the clubbing, and I guess the only solution is to create more clubbers, or I guess in Singapore.
Well, I don't think it's about okay. So let me give you this mindset this question Transmission, those that go there, right? Not all of them are clubbers.
Yeah. True. Yeah. True.
You get what I mean? Those that go to festivals, right? They are not all of them are clubbers also.
They are like hardcore festival lover. Festival.
Or just mainstream generic folks, right?
They want to be seen there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that's why you need to remember this very interesting dynamic, right? It's not just about the club scene, but it's also about the community. Yeah.
Need to I guess like for venue owners, they need to find out how to tap into all these group of people.
I feel that there is a solution, but whether everybody can be selfless and really focus on collaboration, right? Like what used to happen right? I think that there's a solution there.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, right, like for better or for worse, you can create a super trio called Singapore HDB Mafia, right? No, as an example.
I mean, Zouk did it.
I was trying to propose this stupid idea to Kia last time, right? No, but if you think about it, right, like, it is funny, it relates to the crowd, but of course, you need to find the positioning and the correct type of songs to mix with the brand, right? Then, it will work. Because I realized in Singapore, right, you cannot do things that are too serious. You need to do some
you cannot like resistance stage kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, like resistance stage. I tell you the joke, right? Resistance stage is the least visited stage, right? In Ultra in all of the years. Okay. It got the most attention every time when it rained because that's the only stage with a shelter. Right?
Then everybody go chiong inside.
Yeah. It's just funny lah, but yeah. Yeah, imagine you do a Singapore HDB Mafia, right? Then you use like maybe a special collab with Wukong, right? Then you do all the stupid funny visuals, right? But you create awesome music out of that, right?
Yeah.
That you parody or poke fun or be sarcastic, right? I can't realize that kind of works here, for some stupid weird reason. I don't understand why.
But the thing is, like, does it gonna translate well overseas? Will your overseas artists accept
Look at
you?
Eminem.
Okay.
Right, as an example, he parodies everybody. You just need to find the correct medium. I'm not saying do Singapore HDB Mafia. I'm not saying that, right? But it's that type of concept, right? Like what Wukong is succeeding quite well in his what he's doing right now.
His domain,
Yeah, he's parodying everybody, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's also creating awesome tracks. But it's hard style lah. But you just need to find that correct direction of music that you want to play. People will love it. Ideally, if it hits Instagram viral music, right? I realized that a lot of artists that recently, right, they hit the viral list, right? They're doing a lot of shows now.
Oh yeah lah. All your TikTok DJs,
What,
Ian Ashers.
Yeah, the Ian Asher and all those. They really got lucky. Well, no, they did a lot of hard work and they also like.
Luck plays a part lah, but then the thing is the consistency. Also, they know what kind of content to make, what 2 songs to mash up.
Yeah, like I recently I'm listening to a lot of Starter House.
Oh yeah, trending Starter House. Yeah.
It's not your heavy clubbing music, but it's like a very beach chill or whatever. Yeah.
It's basically fast tech house. Tech house is like 125. This is like 1-3 something.
Yeah, because I'm shifting to a new place, right? So I have this roof deck. I've already got an idea on my DJ setup. Then I'll play Starter House, watching the sunset. Wow, shiok. Yeah. But I mean, I DJ, I spin for myself, and I don't like to spin for people.
Yeah. I mean, you don't commercialize it, right? That's why you don't have to.
It's just a hobby lah. Yeah.
So talking a little bit more about your job, right? Most people in Singapore, they are very concerned about like job stability and like career progression. But for our kind of job, right, I don't really see a lot of stability or a lot of career progression. Correct me if I'm wrong. So are you just more concerned about other things than that? Because most Singaporeans are only caring about like job stability.
I mean, for better or for worse, I left the comfort of Pico to go into like pretty
uncharted territory.
Not uncharted territory, but it's a bit unstable lah, right?
Of course.
Because there's a lot of fluctuations. Not that at that point of time it didn't give me that stability. It did. It's just that I always wanted to make some sort of positive impact lah, right? Ideally in the shadows, right? Because I'm not a limelight type of person, right? I have stage fright, right? So if we can actually elevate the whole music scene here in the form of positive collaborations, right? Yeah, I think that's the main aim lah. Yeah. So no, but the fact of the matter is, I really wanted to kind of create avenues that at least we are able to kind of expand who we truly are. For example, you have a certain music style with revelry, right? Maybe someday you want to explore another concept. Like ideally, if there's a place, right, like Printworks, right, a permanent space that you can do that at a very low cost, you can really build a community and stuff like that. Then I tell you, every week it works. Like Deep Low, right? Yeah, every month is not sustainable for him.
Yeah.
Because do you want to go to a Martin Garrix concert 2 times in a row? No, what? Yeah. Yes, you can bring in new people lah, but it's still limited lah.
Yeah.
So you save your bullets for impactful appearances.
Right.
Then it makes sense and it's less tiring also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then DJs, they only earn money from shows primarily.
So that's why, okay, to me, the DJs that earn from shows are artist performers.
Yes.
Right? The gold pot or the honey pot is in the production of music.
But is it still possible to earn from the royalties of music when Spotify review their...
It's not.
Hello?
But I explain to you why.
Okay. Yeah.
Once you have a few awesome tracks, right? Like
hits.
for instance, Zed, right? He still commands a huge sum now. But has he been releasing a lot of music?
Live shows,
Yeah.
Command a huge sum for live show.
But has he been producing a lot?
Okay,
he has produced a lot for like the mainstream acts for sure, right? Then he's getting his royalties from there. But if you want him to perform, you need at least X dollars for him.
So the money still comes from shows lah, but you just do same amount of shows, but you up the price because of your production.
Correct. For instance, Skrillex, his price is 7 digit, right? From last time, 5 digit.
Yeah.
Like Marshmello, now it's all very crazy. Alan Walker or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, Alan Walker,
so long no hits already. He's not a vlogger actually.
yeah, so if you think about it, like, but he still performs, right? But his fee is high.
Yeah.
So you are using something to have a cut away to another mod or something, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you have, let's say, 12 key songs. For example, Swedish House Mafia, right?
Yeah.
They can garner I will only do your show if you give me 2 mil, for example, right?
Yeah.
Or even like the most stupid scenario, right? And don't quote me on this lah, right? But there's this show in Saudi Arabia called Middle Beast. When I found out how much they were paying for the artist fees, my mind was blown. But it was a case, I don't know how the discussions were done lah, but it was easily 4 to 5 times the price of what we usually pay.
Holy fuck, dude. I think they got the oil money, that's why.
No, it's not about that.
Yeah.
Mohammed bin Salman is actually quite, well, I wouldn't say him, but his whole organization, right? Actually made the very interesting decision to bring in all of these special content, and they created their own show, right? Middle Beast, spending huge loads of money. They got the Creamfield guys to come in to kind of do the project management and stuff. Got almost everybody they can find. They dared to do this completely crazy thing, which no normal festival will do.
Yeah.
Like, I want Martin Garrix back to back with Tiesto. I'll pay the both of them for 1 set. By right, they were
half.
By right, Martin Garrix, he will do his own 1 hour 30-minute set.
Yeah.
Tiesto will do his 90-minute set also.
Yeah.
No, I want both of them to just perform 60-minute.
Concentrate all the power.
I will still pay. I pay more. Okay. I just want them to back to back. They dared to do it and it worked.
Create combinations that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why there's so many people that still talk about Martin Garrix's collaboration with Alesso at Tomorrowland also, back to back, because they can hold the stage on their own, but they are trying to somewhat create a Swedish House Mafia. I don't know, right?
Yeah. I think they up the craziness every year, but if not, how you know?
Yeah. You have to. That's why like after Swedish House Mafia, I think the next amazing trio is Fortet, Skrillex, and Fred Again.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about Fred Again until like
the Boiler Room,
not Boiler Room, until like he did his sudden New York City at Times Square, the sudden activation there.
Oh, okay.
Then I first saw Fred Again. Then when I heard, he, Skrillex, and Fortet sold out Madison Square Garden in like minutes.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Now my attention is there. And their setup is very basic one. It's just one DJ table, then your DJ equipment there, the wires anyhow plug.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody around.
Yeah, everybody just vibe.
Crazy, yeah. And it's like really super on the fly. You can see like it is like purposefully messy. To the point that they play repeat song 3 times.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
everybody enjoy themselves, right? And And Skrillex at that point of time, he released his new style, right? It's a very daring move, but will any Singapore producer really do that? It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will suddenly gravitate towards calling the AWA or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It fulfills the crowd.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you want the crowd to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a performer.
Yeah. But I guess it's also like answering to the venue owner also, like how much are they willing to like sacrifice also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why for me, I would kind of always gravitate towards festivals because there's a little bit more free play there, especially with the opening slots.
Yep.
But unfortunately, because Singapore being Singapore, everybody's scared of hot, right? Despite the fact that our skins are customized to this weather, right?
Yeah.
Everybody comes late. Then it's like affecting the experience also because the sunset photo shots is always amazing, right?
Yeah.
Unless it rains.
And I know Ultra is like making an effort to try to end the night early, like 12 or 1. Then after that, redirecting everybody, all the clubs, to give the clubs the business or something like that, right?
That's the idea, but it's a very westernized concept. The reason why is because festivals are meant to be a day-to-night affair.
Okay.
Right? You need to have a good portion of the day. Right? So it is a case where yes, while they say that want to gravitate towards the clubs or after parties and all those, but if you think about it, right, after Tomorrowland, you just want to go back to a hotel, wash up, rest and everything, get ready for the next day. Come early.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part that I disagree with lah. Yeah.
Which part? Like the
pushing people towards the clubs. It's a byproduct, don't get me wrong, right? But I don't think it's the core.
Yeah. But somehow it's like helping the scene, you know.
No, for sure it is because people are quite high and then they want to continue on, right? But what that means is they come to the festival later the next day. They miss out a lot on special concepts and experiences.
Yeah.
Like when Marshmello performed for Ultra Singapore in 2016, he was like what, 3-4 p.m? I think so, around there.
Wow, early.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's like the earlier sets is like for all of the emerging stuff one. Like for example, I was so happy when I saw Umet Oskan's set.
The new one.
Yeah. But he's not he does a daytime set with his like instruments and all those
didgeridoo, throat techno.
The Mongolian, a lot of awesome cultural mixes. It's you have to create that type of niche lor.
Yeah, and it works with festival because like people of all countries lah, as compared to a club where it's like mainly like one country. Yeah,
it's tricky. That's why STB kind of makes a lot of effort in trying to help to kind of bring tourism in lah. It's just the native cost in Singapore is just very high, so it's always a bit more challenging.
Yeah, and I guess it in order for it to work, right, it takes a lot of people willing to do things for free just to make something happen.
Well, or lose money lah.
Or lose money.
Yeah. But if I'm not wrong, I don't know how was Zouk's profitability in the first few years, but I believe there was a journey to get there, right?
Oh, I was with Lincoln the other day. He's like, first 3 years lose money. I'm like, really? I thought 1 year only.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's a long-term game plan, right? It's the same thing with Miami's most successful, probably one of the most successful club, right? With Dave Groupman called 11.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
It's essentially a strip club, but everybody goes there because all the big DJs perform there as well. It's the same logic with Marquee in New York and Vegas, right? They really had to go balls out, like Hakkasan or whatever as well.
Yeah, I'm quite in love with that Hakkasan branding because I see like that pool experience. Yeah. And then I guess it's like when you build such a strong identity and a signature place, right? The people in the know, the who's who will gather, and then slowly, it's not about the DJ anymore. Already. I come here because I want to meet all the famous people.
You know you have succeeded when you have the biggest influencers asking you for a favor to go into your club.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Yeah. But
think about it.
Yeah. That's something that all the club owners can learn from.
So if you think about it, right, like there are quite a lot of influencers back then lah for Ultra Singapore, which I was aware of, that actually wanted to go to Ultra.
Yeah, of course lah. It's first time Ultra in Singapore. You know, Ultra is already such a huge brand, and
Yeah.
Singapore got a franchise. Like what the
Because
fuck?
the
you know?
influencers need content as well, right?
That's
to
true.
kind of
That's true.
generate additional
Hype up their life.
yeah. Well, I mean, hype up is one part, but it's part of their branding also lah, right?
Oh yeah. The kind of genre of
Yeah.
content creator that they are,
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, but my wish is I hope that there are more educative opportunities for Singaporeans lah. Because if you look at math, right, actually there is a good community. It's just whether they are educated properly or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you say like actually a lot of the education is like happening online now and not live?
Yes, unfortunately that's the case.
Yeah.
Right. Like I really want to find the day when I get a group of young people telling me that they want to catch Rufus to Seoul
Oh,
live set.
Rufus is so is like a Odessa,
It's art.
but more journey.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
art. Yeah. Because yes, even though their genre is a bit slow tempo, right? But their visuals and everything is insane.
They're like Grammy winners, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like we are just waiting 6 minutes for one. And then when that happened, everybody just people front row cry, people put their hands up. Like,
No, it's like Eric Pritz's one of his hits, Opus,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so like
Super long journey, build up.
yeah, but imagine that with the Holosphere or the Holo Show.
Wow.
It's insane. Like
Cannot, yeah.
you know, Eric Pritz was actually one of the first people that first artists that I'm aware of that utilize interactive visuals. So in Miami, he debuted his new visuals, right? It was a guy taking out his phone. The back is a reflective surface, right? Live stream the crowd. You know why? He was so sick and tired of people just taking out the phones and filming him, so he decided to mock it lah, right? So people will stop and really enjoy the vibe and moment. But
So the
unfortunately,
visuals at the back
yeah,
is like one guy filming everybody.
yeah, there's a camera,
Okay.
right, filming everybody, but it was mapped onto the shiny iPhone surface, right? But the fact is, because of how we have grown, right, we are all like stuck to our phones and stuff. And I've realized this very interesting thing. I've stopped doing that. I enjoy the experience so much more.
You need to wait until people reach your level of enlightenment.
No, it's not enlightenment. It's just yeah.
I mean, it's culture. Like everything is like in your phone. You know, your accessibility, your communication, everything is there. Your time.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like put it down. Even sometimes I also have some trouble. Also.
Yeah, that's why I don't usually reply my WhatsApp one. I'm notorious for not replying messages.
Yeah.
But anything, if it's work related, just email me, right?
Yeah.
Like, but other than that, like, I need to like declutter my life so like I can experience life in general. Otherwise, like, what we are going to become like robots or whatever that we are just glued to our phones. Yeah, then you're not experiencing life anymore.
Yeah, correct. I think we are somehow being controlled by our device instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to a Joe Rogan podcast with this guy, Christopher Williamson or something like that.
Right.
He has his own like podcast also. And then he said that as artists, right, we have to create art and art models after life. And if you don't have time to live life, right, how are you supposed to create art that is like normal people can relate to?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So with you traveling to so many countries, right, so many exotic locations, right, do you feel like you can still call Singapore home?
I mean, this is the place where I was born and bred, right? If you ask me objectively, would I prefer to eat nachos or like tacos over Koki Wanton Mee or like Beach Road the Hokkien Mee? I would say Hokkien Mee any day, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explain but it's just a home component lah. I will never throw away, but it is a huge honor for me to have traveled around the world.
Yeah.
Quite a fair bit lah. That's how I learned my experiences. But again, I think it's about that native intent to learn more stuff and to kind of share and evolve things. That's the thing. That's the reason why, like, for instance, like when I look at a stage, right, I instantly know what they are using and stuff like that. right?
Because of your many experiences with stage across many countries.
Yeah. And what works for what market, what doesn't work for what market.
Yeah.
The moment that you want to be an ass, right, and assume that you know everything, that's when you know you have fallen.
Yeah, and the more you know, the more you realize that, oh shit, actually I don't know a lot of things.
Yeah, I like to put myself in those vulnerable positions, right? Then it forces me to really learn. Because otherwise we'll just be complacent and then, we are screwed on. Then what's the point of growing?
So other than a sense of like familiarity in Singapore, is there like another component, like maybe, I don't know, security that you value about Singapore?
The thing about security, I don't value the security as much. Because fun fact, right? Like I thought it was I'm a bit crazy in a way where at that point of time when Hong Kong had the riots, right, a few years ago, I was there with my colleagues, right, for a colleague's wedding. Then our flight got cancelled because of the riots.
Yeah.
So I put one of my colleagues over, hey, let's go join the black shirts.
What the hell?
No, but it's peaceful, right? Then
So you go wear a black shirt and you join it?
no lah, like I just joined lah, but I didn't wear a black shirt lah, right?
Okay.
Or like the time in I was
Siao,
staying in Los Angeles, right? Like I was just walking back after like a very weird vegan dinner with my friend who stays there.
So
Then
specific. Vegan dinner.
because I'm not vegan, ma. Yeah. Then I mean I respect his dietary choices, so okay lor, vegan lor. Then after that I went to Taco Bell lah. But anyway, on the way back we saw a few people shooting each other.
What
but
the
it's like
fuck?
normal lor, it's just true, you just walk lor. As long as the bullet don't hit us, okay already.
What the shit, man?
No, but that's life, right? Like if you
Maximum
don't,
YOLO.
it's not maximum YOLO, it's calculated YOLO.
Okay.
Obviously, if there's a situation like in Israel, right, where Hamas suddenly invade the music festival, obviously I will run, right?
Okay,
I won't be like
I need
chill.
to introduce you to someone called Kevin Sore. One of our guys that
Yeah.
perform at the show. He's also like super YOLO, crazy.
It's not YOLO, but you need to put yourself in those
Free spirit lah.
yeah. Then you will really appreciate life, yeah.
And then another significant thing about Ultra is Final Kid.
Oh yeah, Charlie.
Wow,
Yeah,
this year.
I'm very close with him.
This year, wow, their video is like next level, man.
Yeah, Miami Vice City, ma.
Yeah, and it's like GTA.
Yeah, GTA.
Wow. And I stayed through the whole entire 25 minutes music video, and I replay and I watch again and I show my girlfriend and then we watch again. I watched like 3 times straight. Yeah, I just like consumed 75 minutes of my life just watching that thing.
No, because
So many things happening.
He is a filmmaker, right?
Final Kid is one.
No,
Final Kid is company.
Okay, Final Kid essentially is Charlie Fredericks, right? But obviously he has his company lah.
Okay.
So I first, ironically, the first time I knew about Ultra was because I was doing video research. I was doing research, right, for a video production project for Pico at that point of time. And I suddenly chanced upon this. Hey, very interesting, Ultra United We Dance 2014.
Okay.
Right? It's a documentary on what the artists feel about Ultra. I was captivated by then. Then I keep on thinking, it'd be quite cool if I do Ultra one day. I don't really do all.
Yeah, the storytelling is king, man.
Yeah.
And I saw how they film in Road to Ultra Singapore, right? They just get a bunch of like Japanese girls and then they get a bunch of European girls, different race, and then sometimes they will mix them, right? And then because I'm DJing at the entrance, so I saw how they film. They'll say, dance as excitedly as you can to the entrance and in, and then they just go in, go out, go in, go out, go in, just repeat the same thing. So this group do 10 times, and another group do 10 times to get like that perfect shot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I respect him a lot. Like I'm quite tight with Charlie, right? Like we kind of go quite far back. So I respect his craft, right? So every time, even though the amount to pay him is not little, and apart from his fee, right, you still have to cover, I mean, usually the hotels, but also the production costs, like talents.
The fee and production cost different.
Fee is mainly the engagement fee where he will get his crew with his cameras and stuff like that. What I mean by production, right, is, for example, in Abu Dhabi, I got a freaking Ferrari for him.
Oh.
Then I had Sesko to drive it, right?
Okay.
Then we also film along one of the deserts.
All the hidden costs.
Yeah, there are all of these costs lah, right? But you need that in order to create an awesome product for the next year. It's marketing hype, right?
And like, what is the secret to him being the official videographer for so many years?
It's trust.
Right.
Once you know someone will give their 100%, right, and they have proven it time and time again to you, you don't question.
Yeah, and then the fee is also like the most expensive out of like a lot of other videographers. I bet tons of other videographers also like trying to lowball him and try to get their way into Ultra, but somehow he's still there, you know?
No, because you can't. Okay, the thing that I respect about Ultra is that they will never scream on quality, right? I.e., like their stage designs or whatever, they will never scream on that.
Yeah.
It's just like, for example, you know YK, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's one of my. Well, I respect his work quite a fair bit.
Yeah.
And he also toured with a lot of artists, right?
Love all this.
Yeah, a lot of. And the thing is, he got to where he is because he was. I think he really tried very hard to make things amazing. When pictures can tell a story, right, just by seeing it, that's when you know like you have made an impact.
Yeah, and it's like just mainly pictures only.
Yeah.
And then now even he also need to slowly evolve to video.
I mean, it's just the market lah.
Transition.
But if you compare his photos with like, it's easy to create a good photo, then you do a lot of Photoshop or whatever, right? But it's the angles and the exact shots, right?
The timing.
It's the timing, the emotion or whatever, right?
Correct. I think one of his masterclass or something, he got said that like if you can make a photo look like it can move, right? When it's just a photo, right? Wow, then that's like the highest level.
Yeah, that's what Rutger Lin does.
Rutger,
he is the, how should I put it? He's the #1 photographer for electronic dance music. He has his own like museum display at AD and stuff like that. His work is widely celebrated. Rutger. I'll send you his Instagram later, but yeah.
To like kind of document the whole entire electronic dance music community or something like that lah.
Music festivals. He's the one of our main to-go photographers for Ultra. Same for Tomorrowland as well. Yeah.
So another question that I have for you is like DJ booking manager. Like, so Ultra of course has the head booker.
Yeah.
What's that role called? Just now you were saying.
It's like head of talent.
Head of talent, right? So how does one get a job like that? Because I know of like many examples of bad bookers, right, where they are just booking like nonsense act that don't make sense for the brand. And how is this person like, I'm more informed than everybody and that's why I'm the head, because like somehow I know better?
I put it this way, it's about making the effort. Okay, I put it this way, like imagine you force yourself in a situation where you get into a very comfortable position with the artist, right? You become their friend, right? In a way, you are bypassing the booking agent, right?
Oh.
And you are understanding what they are trying to do.
Yeah.
Right? And then what is the platform you can provide to facilitate that?
If you can see the vision, then you will kind of like make a gamble on this guy, something like that.
I.e. like why Martin Garrix is so close with Adam Russakoff, right? Because in a way, Adam gave him that platform to expand to where he is today, right? It's the same logic where you need to be very aware of what you are actually trying to get. When we actually book talent, the reality is we are not booking talent. We are buying a show.
Buying a show?
Let me explain. If I were to ask you, okay, plan me a lineup, right? Give me what is your ideal last 3 names?
Last 3 names as in the final 3
Final
acts.
3, yeah, final 3 acts. Who will you select to close? Who will be second to close? Who will be third to close?
Yeah.
There's a logic or not art lah, but there's a logic to it. Because the closer, right, should always be a big bang.
Yeah.
But your biggest name ideally should be second to close. Then your third to close is the interesting act.
Honorable mention, something like
Not honorable mention, right?
It's a headliner of its own.
Yeah. So what Ultra did very well back in 2018, right, was people didn't know Swedish House Mafia was coming back together, right?
Okay.
Adam made that happen.
Oh.
No, not him entirely, but we managed to get that show lah, the comeback show lah, right?
Yeah.
When Hartwell came back, nobody knew also, right?
Wow, dude, the Hardwell Ultra came back set. Wow, my hair still stand till this moment.
Yeah.
He just come up before the show. He was like, I'm so nervous. Then when he play, right, all the song no track title, nothing.
Yeah.
You cannot Shazam.
It's all new song.
Yeah. Nobody does that.
Correct. Then
Crazy.
like the night before, Illenium, right?
Yeah.
Closed the day's show.
Yeah.
Crazy set, right? So it's about having that type of understanding on how to balance artists' egos,
Oh.
right?
Like for example, if I put you as like the second to last, then later you might think that I don't believe that you are as big as that guy.
It's the way to position it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like David Guetta, I think for Europe, he's not even the last 5 acts. He performs quite early on.
I guess maybe he sound more US than more Europe.
No, as in for Ultra Croatia, Ultra Europe, yeah. David Guetta performs quite early. Yeah.
But what's the decision behind it?
Oh, because he was promoting more of his Jetback act that time, I think.
Oh,
so
not
he was
Future
going
Rave
to Resistance. Yeah. Future Rave, he's always something that he's promoting, right? With Morton. But it's just for the demographic, it's about the head of talent explaining the concept and the market. I will know this slot will give you the most people.
Oh, okay.
When you perform as an artist, you will love for a full crowd. Right?
Yes.
Then you feed off the energy, right?
And
Ironically,
also,
you perform better also.
And also can support that concept that you're trying to promote.
Yeah. That's why I was pretty sad. Like everybody came to Ultra Singapore quite late. Then it's like you have great acts like Umek Oskan and all those, right?
Yeah.
Not much people, but then yeah.
It is what it is. Education. But when you say, right, the biggest act should be like the second to last, right? You know, every year, every time I see DJ Snake or whoever, right, when they play the last set of Ultra, right, they're like, oh my god, I got the honor to be like the closing set. It's like as though in their heads, right, that's like the biggest thing.
No, it's a perception of billing, right? So I give you an example. David Guetta usually performs third to close at Ultra Miami.
Okay.
Despite his status, right?
Correct. Maybe the sound more chill as compared to Hardwell.
Because of the genre that he's trying to push, street house, right?
Oh yeah. That's after Future Rave. What? There's one like Dua Lipa remix or some street house. Yeah. I heard.
So it's about understanding that law. Because once you understand that, you know how to position things already. It's a very delicate act.
Yeah. So to sum up, like the head of talent or the head booking manager, right, of any institution should try to like strive to have like a personal relationship with an artist, right, so that you can understand like his sound and what he's trying to go for, so that you can best support him
Yeah.
The one with the best
The
understanding.
moment that you make it known to the artist that you're on their side, right? Rather than, I just want to talk to you because I can like, take photo or whatever. I don't take photos with like so many DJs. I don't take any more photos because I respect their privacy.
Yeah.
They're here to perform. Then let's be professional about it, lah. Yeah.
Correct. So for him, right, he will probably just handle all the A-listers or something like that. Then his staff will go and book all the B-listers or C-listers or something.
Adam is very hardworking, so he actually does all of the international bookings for all of the international shows.
What the hell?
It's only the local / regional that we'll handle ourselves, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he takes a lot of input and advice from us, lah. Once you explain to him the reason why, right? He's open, despite his notorious reputation. But if you just think about it from his angle, right, he's trying to do the best for the show.
It's very logical, lah.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I say we are buying shows. We are not like booking talent, right? Because Kashmir, I want his orchestra show. It's this fee lah. But he will try to explain in such a way that, this is an avenue for you to debut your whatever concept. Then they will be a bit more okay already, right?
Yeah. Correct. Then the overall expenditure will be more manageable.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like for Chainsmokers, I will always want to buy their live show with the drummer, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just a DJ set.
Yeah. Way more energetic.
Yeah.
As compared to their like maybe like XS Vegas club show lah.
Yeah.
That was a little bit more laid back.
Yeah. Like Illenium, I would want his the trilogy tour. Like he just finished. Wait, has he finished? I think he's just finished. His headline show in US. I want that show, for example. But then with that show comes with certain production values lah.
Yeah.
Like Swedish House Mafia, I want the 3-circle that show.
Yeah, oh, the ring.
Yeah.
Wow,
Like for Abu Dhabi, I wanted to get the hollow show. I don't want Eric Pritz just coming in
DJ set.
with a DJ set. It's not.
Not signature, not his signature.
It's not. What he's better with that concept. Then
Kind of completes him
yeah, it completes him.
as an artistically
Yeah.
lah, in a sense.
But he's very expensive lah. But it's worth it if I get that show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Also depends on like country whether the people can appreciate or not. Also lah.
Education lah.
Lor.
Like in Dubai, people are very knowledgeable about the underground scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like if you know you have your basic needs met already, you can focus more on music and stuff lah.
Yeah, you definitely can, because the critical thing, right, is you must always think about your punters.
Your what?
Your punters, your target market lah. When you are trying to book talent. A lot of times I see a lot of people booking talent because they like.
That's not a good enough reason.
It's not. But I've seen a lot of these examples. Like, I want to book David Guetta. Why? I asked the question lah. He's not cheap lah, right? That's the main reason why I asked. Oh yeah, because I really like his songs. Dude.
Yep. You'll be I think most people will be surprised to know that it happens quite often. Especially
I know
like, yeah. I mean you're the one in charge of all this lah, so you should know lah.
Yeah.
So okay, great. I guess we can like kind of end it off
Yeah.
with a last question to you is like, do you have any upcoming dream projects that you want to do? Like maybe with all your knowledge, you want to come back to Singapore, do something amazing.
I would say that probably the Resistance show at Pasir Panjang Power Station as a first. Then hopefully a creation of a performance venue space lah. So what I mean by that is essentially think of it as a property, right, that has the makings of a public community space, but it's not too difficult for me to add fences and a stage for it to become a music festival, right?
And then it's either like low rental or no rental, so everybody can.
In a way, no lah, there definitely will be some commercial arrangements so that it can cover costs or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But at least it's a more accessible spot, because I realized the moment once ticket prices hits more than $168.
Wow, so specific.
No,
Whenever a ticket price to a show hit $168.
Yeah, that's where people's, especially Singaporeans start to think twice.
Is
I'm
that
not
like
saying-
your experience with the market research, you understand it's like a magic number is 168.
It's not a pure magic number, right? But I'm just looking at specifics across the board.
Right.
I.e., with Zoukout, with various other shows lah.
Yeah.
168 usually is pretty much the max. But of course, being Singaporean, everybody prefers it if it's lower lah.
Yeah.
Unless you are like a Coldplay that a bit crazy lah, right?
Yeah.
Or Blackpink or BTS lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 168 is like the amount where you feel like, okay, you cannot charge more. Or if you want to charge more, you need to deliver a lot more.
It's about, okay, because of us being Singaporean, right?
Yeah.
We quite niao one,
Yeah.
right? So we need to kind of make sure that this $168 is really worth our buck lah.
Yeah.
And actually in the previous years, yes, Ultra was actually very value for money, Ultra Singapore,
Yep.
right? But people just choose to turn up late, and then like, I pay 168 just to see 2X. But because
You
people,
come late what?
yeah,
Ah.
but they won't really feel that way lah. Like they have no inclination. Oh, I want to see what is this random performer which I never heard of before.
Yeah.
It's sad lah, because like you go to, funny thing when we do Ultra Japan, right? Every Japanese on time one, 11 a.m. Like around 12 noon or whatever, right? full already.
What the hell?
I'm serious.
It's dishonor to be late.
I mean, it's good that because the Japanese culture, they like to be on time lah, but they experience the most value.
Yeah, correct.
Because they're there. I mean, yes, they do pay a bit more for alcohol and food, but I mean, it is what it is, right?
So with $168, and then you are previously mentioning also Skrillex is now 7 digits to book. How to cover?
So the sad part is the VIP. Okay, if you look at music festivals around the world, right, the success factor comes from the GA crowd. But because the demographics in Singapore is skewed, right, that the VIP deck actually makes more money than the GA ticket sales.
GA is the one that makes the success for other countries.
Yes.
Oh damn! Then VIP, they don't really have like bottle popping, not like Singapore.
You know, in Tomorrowland, right, there's not much bottles pop one, huh?
Oh.
In Miami, and EDC, yes, there's a lot of bottles pop because the Asian culture has migrated there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But I mean, let alone for China, Thailand, and stuff lah. That one is sell. Like I think Neon did more than 2 mil USD of sales in just one night for the VIP deck.
One mil, two mil. Holy shit.
Yeah. I need to fact check that, right? But I remember someone told me about that. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess
It might be
because
more than that, actually.
the lack of like population in Singapore, or rather the lack of clubbing population in Singapore, makes GA like practically impossible to fully monetize lah.
It's a bit more tricky, right? Because a lot of Singaporeans are blessed that they are a little bit more affluent, right? It's not that nobody cannot afford a VIP table. It's just that they need to sacrifice certain comforts in life in order to afford that table. Because imagine one table, right? You let's say marquee lah. One table on a special DJ night maybe is 10 to 15K depending on who. You share between like 15 people, each person 1K. Big night out. It's not totally impossible. It's a stretch for some.
Yeah.
Especially if you are like still schooling or what. But
renting.
But if you are actually working already, it's and if you are fortunate enough to have an awesome job, it's not difficult.
Yeah.
But if you ask me objectively, I'm not a VIP person. I'm a GA person. Yeah.
I mean, you can get the real experience more on the ground, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think like if you go VIP, it's also not really the main objective lah. I think the main objective is like backstage. That's where all the magic happens, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't want to work every time. No, I tell you, I have this disease right now. Like every time I go to a show, right, like I will kind of look at, the LED panel got all those diodes not working.
Dead pixels.
Dead pixel and all those.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. Then I will look at the lighting programming. Why they not using Grand MA3?
Oh, now go Grand MA3 already.
Yeah, now it's Grand MA3. It's a common standard. Like, yeah, it's a disease lah. So I try to declutter myself away from that.
Yeah.
Try to enjoy the experience more.
Okay.
Like I do visit some of the other ultras, right? Like I don't stay at the VIP table one. I stay at the GA area. Yeah.
I guess also probably your bosses all gonna be at VIP there hanging out.
Yeah. To be fair, I still go to the VIP because I just need top up for my drink. Other than that, I don't stay there.
I mean, you don't need to handle the PR, right? So I guess.
I mean, I need to lah, but it's just I will always escape to one side lah, right? Because the best view actually for the entire show, right, is always at FOH. Yeah. That's where I'd love to be at.
Nobody block you can see all the fireworks. Yeah.
And then you see all the lasers, it's like
centralized, symmetrical.
Yeah, symmetrical, looks show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hello. That's where I usually hide.
Yeah, so hope to see you do more crazy stuff and hopefully you can inception into Singapore.
It's tough, but let's see.
Yeah, and then we can have more conversations then when there's more exciting stuff. Yeah. Can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.